Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reels of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Hello, everyone. This is your girl Lex coming at you straight from the heart. And as you know, where it is all live. And I'm pulling up my notes right now where I want to have a conversation with everyone. Sorry for the background noise that you hear from our downtown office or other office. But this right here is something we can do to get our things going on now. I had called Mr. Heck versus Hell, but he doesn't want to answer his phone, and nor do I feel like getting my swollen feet up. So I want to have a conversation with her. This is recovering, right? And I had some recordings, different snippets that I wanted to have with that. One was going to be more of a conversation of, I suppose, the value of rich. What is that? So it could be what's your level of richness, pretty much. Is it sitting with a cup of cappuccino or tea, or for some people a beer or some wine? And that is highly obnoxious when people are on their crotch rockets making that much noise when you're trying to do stuff. I cannot stand that. Anyhow, scratch that. But I just want to say, I don't know why. I mean, it's cool that they have them. I always wanted a crotch rocket too, but sometimes you just need to leave the rocket where the crotch is or something like that. I'm just saying, you don't need to be doing all that, making all that noise. And if you have one, I'm talking to you too. Okay, don't take it offensive, but it's kind of annoying. Now, hopefully you couldn't hear it and you're just like, what is she talking about? But I'm right here. So I haven't left. I'm still here in the building, still on my my hard reset, journey. But I want to ask you, what is your level of richness now? To many, I had this conversation. I'm like, man, what is that? Like, listening to different people speak, especially Myron Golden or Mr. or Uncle Myron Golden. You can check out his channel. I'm promoting from my own personal experience of that, from how I feel, not, anything to do with someone trying to make me or asking me to. But anyway, just things, reflections. You can have someone have a speech about how much they like waffles. It could be a conversation of how much they like walking through the park and what it brings them. But my thing is, I want to know, what's your level of richness? Is it sipping a cup of cappuccino or tea or té or un chela, un cervecita? I'm just saying a beer, some vino, some wine, sitting down and reflecting all your life, or as you see people smile, or your family, or is it being able to pay your bills or loving where you are? I don't know. I guess when these conversations come, they come with many things that go. That was one of my alarms. No, no worry. So it's food for thought, but I want to ask you for that. Ask you that question. What is your level of richness? All right. What do you feel is your level of richness? So with that interlude of thinking that, I mean, it comes down to from cappuccinos to cardboard boxes. What makes you feel rich? Is it the first sip of your morning cappuccino at the morning side? Or is it waking up under a patch of sky with nothing but a blanket and a heartbeat to prove you're still here? What if the true measure of abundance wasn't what you owned, but what still owns your joy, your gratitude, and your soul? Right? So perspective is, I guess checking the boxes. A hot drink may warm the hands, but kindness warms the soul. Someone's discarded box might be someone else's only shelter. I mean, think about it. Let's go. What makes you feel blessed? Like, is it comfort, safety, connection, or the laughter of your kids, the loyalty of a dog, the rhythm of breathing after a panic attack? I mean, I mentioned those, but I want to really hone it in for you, right? The visible ones that we see is for the rich is feeling the sun on our skin, smelling the rain, and just knowing it's coming. Some people might have their bones ache, but at least you know you're still alive. Yeah, hearing someone say, I'm proud of you, that might just be the kicking point. That's pretty much where we are with different things that come, the companionship of struggle. Even broken people find joy. So don't underestimate resilience. Sometimes having someone is the only wealth you need, but having God is the only wealth you'll ever be able to fully obtain once you embrace all that the Creator obtains and embraces within you, a reflection of. Maybe the richest among us aren't the ones with portfolios and polished homes, but the ones who wake up each day still full of purpose, praise, and peace. That's very hard to find, everyone. I mean, really think about it. Peace is very, I mean, you got to find it through the storm and the storm coming out of it. I know, but some people are like, oh, I wish I had that. No, don't ever wish someone else's existence on your own. Even the little things, it can be coming home and just having the same bag of dirt dropped on the floor. It could just be that point of no peace for someone. It doesn't have to be dramatic and chaotic and just crazy off the chain all the time. I'm just saying, right? To someone else's perspective. All right. Let's not just look to what we have, but to what we carry that makes us truly full. And that's the whole point of what I want to say, right? When it comes down to it, think about those things. Get to a point, right? What are the richest moments you've experienced that didn't cost a cent? Right. That's a good one. How often do you let those things slip by and don't see them as the richness? See, richness can't just be defined in a bank account or some things going on like that. Girl, I just got this. Some other pastor had told me, hey, I got like a $4,000 check for some other book I did. All the while they're donating and giving over here to some other causes. I get some prison programs, different one. I'm thinking I'm running all this stuff going on, but yet you sit across the table and I'm paying for your lunch at this time. It's just fine. But you don't even say anything like, hey, how can I contribute? It's like, it was almost a prideful shift. Like he looked at me in my eyes like, oh, well, if you want something, just ask, Lex. And I'm like, asking is given, but I'm not going to take it from you. And as God, Jesus Christ, God said in the Bible, if I was hungry, I wouldn't tell you. I'm the creator of all things. I'm your creator, right? You were my creation. So, not to sound snideful, but I thought it was ironic. I'm like, you sitting here, I'm like, hey, let me do the back and forth. You pay for breakfast, I pay for breakfast. You pay for lunch, I pay for. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but you didn't even know how I'm going or what I'm going through. But yeah, and it didn't even cross his mind. Oh, she must be doing well. It was like a play, like a draw, like the Westerns, like, oh, hey, let me know any way I could help. Did you try? And it was always a competitional feel. But the richness of what I feel in that is that person saw so much abundance in me, they didn't even want to think twice. And their competitive edge or their submission is, I would never dare ask her that question. Now, somebody say, well, that's not good if you really needed it. Now, all I need is God. That person was sitting there taking ideas from me that God put in my mind, helping their stuff flow, helping their family flow with different things they want to know about how to build a podcast broadcast, how to get all those things. But I wasn't aware of it. I was just sitting there, and my richness of what God gave me is speaking flowingly. See, if you sit with me, if you have 7 minutes with Lex, right, we get straight to the nitty gritty. In this case, 30 minutes with Lex, you will have a whole empire structure without even knowing that I'm always about building people's dreams, uplifting where they are, putting it together. So my mind articulates that way, like a mad scientist, but a mad God scientist or a mad here, the things I've seen over the last at least 17 years. So that's the richness I have is being able to fulfill that, having people fulfill theirs, even if it means I go without. But this time around, there's no more going through Lex. Okay, the movement will happen for me and with me, but no more through me. And what I mean is, God is always going to work through me, but I'm not going to let that richness just pile up and be my pearls cast to swine. So enjoy that moment. And as I sat in the hospital bed on my hard reset journey, it was to the point where I was thinking, man, if I could, I mean, Thick Girl Chronicles, curvaceous moments, I don't know. But I was like, man, I should have went to Olive Garden and took myself to Olive Garden like I wanted. Why didn't I? Why didn't I just get some chicken Alfredo? Why didn't I go try that glass of wine? Not that I was preparing for death, but knowing that death was right around the corner. See, at the time, I could have died of anything. He said I could die on the table, anything from the condition I was in. So if I woke up, I was blessed. If I woke up with limbs, I was blessed or even functional. So at that point, emergency surgery, literally just gushing out of the side. I know, graphic, but fatal, that was on my mind. Little things like that. Did I give the stuff from the partnership away? What's going to happen to it? Who can I give my car to? They're going to utilize it. Why didn't I have a better plan of action? Why did I sit in so much fear? That's what got me. It made me so irritated. Even why did I sit there with so much hesitation, so much unconfidence when I know that I'm the oracle? I know what I was called for. I feel it. I get woken up in dreams. I write down parts and fragments of God's message in my heart, the scriptures speaking out. When you know something and you don't do anything about it, and then your time seems like it's cut and you really don't know, that is the biggest feeling of unrichness that I felt, of knowing how rich I was. And still, I acknowledged it, but I never went forward with it. I still covered it up. I still was like, not enough, need more. I didn't need to be Tony Robbins on a stage. I didn't need to be Les Brown out there. I needed to be me. And I'm just saying it because these are some iconic people that you might be able to look up easily. I didn't need to be, a Coach Carter. I didn't need to be Mel Robbins. I didn't need to be Lisa Nichols, Oprah Winfrey, anybody. I needed to be me, the oracle, the one that God chose for what I have to do. And the richness of what you feel has to be within you. And that got me deep to the core because as I permeate myself there, just getting out of the hospital at the end of January, enero, at the beginning of this year, right? Right now, we're in 2025, this is evergreen, but it still hits you even if you're in 2035 listening to this from 2025 right now. Don't let your richness go and be cast as swine. Don't forget how rich you really are. Because if we're sitting there counting the times and the tokens, there's always something to be done. Even the webinars you don't show up for, even the things you don't do, go back and track and be there for it. Be even an open conversation, even a venue to go and get cheese curds or popcorn. Sometimes those moments of reflective are amazing. Even if it's birthing that child, that'll be the person that sets that off. Even if it's encouraging or mentoring someone, even if it's going down and just sending a card to a nursing home and saying, hey, I don't know you, but you're beautiful and you're wonderful. And I'm happy that God chose for you to be here in this world because your fingerprint made a difference. The richness is full. So what level and how much richness do you believe that you have? All right. Now, I don't know the meaning of every single title to be, but it's about that. Okay. If it is a coffee, anything, even if it's walking to get your local deli sandwich and just sparking that up. Find more of the core richness that you have. Find those deep gifts and talents that no one else can do like you, even if you think someone can. And also, let us all live our richness and fullness and kill out the fear, false evidence appearing real. Because even if you stand on stage and nobody shows up, baby, you still have a wonderful show of entertainment to give. Okay? Entertainment in the godly form. Okay? The best way to do it. If nobody believes in you, and I'm not going to take a scripture or passage, excuse me, from Cardi B, but I remember one time she was doing when she first kind of came out, she was saying how people were making fun of her or saying little snide remarks. And don't quote me on this, um, allegedly. Okay, I'm just saying about her being a stripper and making her money that way, which was nobody's business but hers. Even if it came into the world, people have something to say no matter what. And she said, well, people didn't think I could rap or whatever else, but I kept pushing my music, paying the radios, doing whatever I do. And either way, regardless if you want to say it or not, they call her a superstar. Either way, she's building a legacy. Either way, she has four beautiful babies, or at least one coming in. I don't care how many baby daddies she has. I don't care what it is. Yeah, it might not be the right way God meant it to be, but she has about to be four gorgeous little beings that'll love her. To me, that's richness. It doesn't matter a bank account because your bank account really doesn't even exist on this earth. It's your spiritual account with God. That's the richness and fullness you'll ever feel. But that kind of richness to wake up to someone saying, hi, or good morning, mommy, or I love you, dad, whatever it is, that's another sign of full and richness. Anyway, you get where I'm going with this. Anyhow, this is one a little extra, but I'm happy to be here with you all. I love you. You're amazing. Be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of the Spirit. Know that you are phenomenal. You have the fullness of richness no matter where you are, even if you're sitting there getting a free meal from a mission shelter or whatever it might be. You still are here, babies and beloveds. And it doesn't mean that your journey's ended. Your existence here was on purpose. So let's live that way and be that way. And we'll be back with you very, very soon.